wasn't able to apply that power back to the ground. Dowd went a little bit wide and gave it right back to RC.
Boy, Dowd looking a lot more aggressive here in the second moto. He realizes what's at stake. John Dowd, Ricky Carmichael bar to bar as they go over the hill. John Dowd now the new leader. Oh, and Ricky pushes him into the hay bales. Carmichael going in there pretty hot, David.
He went in there hot. I don't know if he meant to make that as bad as it was. Carmichael almost went down there as well. I really think he's going, man, John, I'm sorry, but I think John's going to have a little different thought about that. I'm sure he's irritated, but...
Was it a takeout or wasn't it a takeout? We'll have to find out later. As Ricky does hit a little bump.
Yeah, watch right here. His back tire hits this little braking bump right here. He lost about 15, 20 feet of braking time.
Oh, he was going there awful hot, though, David.
Yep, he wasn't able to really slow down with that back end hopping up in the air. He almost went down in the process. I know he didn't mean to make that quite as much contact as it was, but regardless, he's got the lead, and Dowd went down. We'll see if there's any repercussions of that later in the moto, if Dowd can catch him.
Dowdy getting right back up in second place. So 2 hole shots for Dowd, but so far he's been unable to hold on to the lead. Here's his mechanic, Brian Berry, says you're still in it now. Keep it going. And Davey Combs is over there trying to chase Brian down right now as Brian moving away from him. Let's go down to Davey.
Davey, I know that's not the kind of racing you like to see. What do you think John's going to do to react?
Well, actually, I mean, Ricky actually tried to move inside, hit a bump. It wasn't totally dirty, but, you know, when you end up on the bad end of it, of course, you get pissed. You know, I don't think John will do anything back. Hopefully he gets mad and catches him and passes him back.
Well, that's what Brian Berry would do if he was on that bike, that's for sure. He gets fired up. John Dowd starting the season with 2 second-place finishes, then a 1-1 with 2 hole shots at Southwick, taking over the points lead before Carmichael came back to take it back again. But John Dowd, he's on a mission now.
He is. He's charging hard. Listen to the crowd, too. They want him to get back up there and continue that battle. He was very instrumental in the excitement of the 250 class last year. Hound and Jeff Emig all the way to the finish line in both motos. The frustrating thing, though, Art, is to be the fact that if he can't pass Carmichael here, he's going to lose 5 points on the day, and after giving it that much effort, he's still losing points in the championship.
Once again, we go back to a battle of Raynard versus Casey Johnson, this time for third. So Raynard, in that accustomed style of the first moto, is coming back. Whether he can catch Carmichael this time, I don't know. Carmichael's got a pretty good lead on him. But right now, Raynard looking for a podium spot. Carmichael out in front. We'll be back. Less than 10 minutes remaining here in the second moto for the 125s. Ricky Carmichael is on his way to victory. After a second place finish in the opening moto, Ricky Carmichael coming back can nail down the overall at his 5th win of the season.
That was a beautiful line through the mechanics area right there. That's what I was talking about earlier when Casey Johnson went down trying to turn in that slick stuff. He cut all the way across the inside. Beautiful. As we start the Suzuki stopwatch, we'll get an idea of the lead he's got now over Dowd.
And it looks like a little over 8-second lead on John Dowd, and that pretty much answers the question, too, about can Robbie Raynard catch like he did in the first moto. And it looks like there's just not enough time in this moto for Robbie Raynard. As you see him go through there, who's about 19 seconds behind.
Yeah, he may have a tough time getting Dowd, but even if he doesn't get Dowd, things stay the way they are, he should be able to get down to 2nd overall today.
So it was a real wake-up call by Robbie Raynard that set Carmichael to get to work right away and gather a large enough lead so that that comeback charge wouldn't work again. So it's about 40 seconds between 1st and 6th place. Mike Brown is in that 6th place.
Fast through there, just wide open all the way through. You know, it's funny when sometimes you look back to these guys and, you know, it's that far back in the pack and you think, geez, as fast as he's going, how come he's not up front? But the fact is, right now, he may be running the same lap times as Carmichael, but he lost so much time in the first 10, 15 minutes of the race, it doesn't matter now. He's back there battling for 6th.
How do the 500s react on this track?
Well, they throw those big rocks a lot harder. That's one thing for sure.
You don't want to get behind Henry in this 250 coming up either, do you?
No, that's not a good thing. These guys are going to be dodging the roost in the 250 class. A chest protector, extra face protection, and hand guards are actually a necessity. In the 125, it's an option. You can dodge that roost. Right now, Sheik's got to dodge the roost of 2 guys, and that becomes a little harder to do. But I never rode a 500 here. They had a 500 national. In fact, the last one they had here, I believe Jeff Ward won it, beat Stanton, and he became the first rider to win a title in every classification, Supercross, and then all 3 bikes, 125, 250, and 500. Pretty impressive.
Of course, Mike LaRocco was the last one to win the Triple Crown, as some people call it. And he'll be coming up in the 250 race that follows. So the 250 guys are just around the corner as we cut down the final few laps of our second 125 moto. Nathan Ramsey, number 35, trying to catch up with Mike Brown, and he's got Scott Sheik right at his tail. Sheik to the inside. Boy, Ramsey still with enough power to get around. Here's our leader, Ricky Carmichael.
Through that section, nice and smooth, hops down into that bowl. That's a G-force down in there. We talked about the gravity cavity. What's that feel like? Well, same as that corner right there. Get down and hit one of those holes in the bottom. It just about wants to jerk your hand off the handlebars.
Well, Ricky's not playing to the crowd. He's serious. He wants to get the checkers first.
Yeah, part of the nature of this racetrack, too, without all these big, fake, man-made plateaus, there aren't really any places to show off for the crowd. Maybe coming up out of this, if he gets enough airtime at the top, he can do a little wave or something. That was kind of slick, the way he got down there and used that powder to help slow him down. It's so smart.
Ricky Carmichael looking for his 13th 125 win. Here's our future schedule. We go to the beautiful Pacific Northwest, Millville, Binghamton, and then the finale in Belmont. Ricky Carmichael on his way here in Unadilla, New York, to his 10th moto win in 14 tries. As we mentioned before the break, this would be his 13th career overall 125 win, which ties him with Jeff Emig and George Holland for 5th on the all-time 125 list. He's not going to stay in 125s long enough to get the big record.
Well, it's hard to say. He may decide to come back here and try to get that. I mean, he's still young. I haven't really heard what he's deciding to do in the 125 Supercross. He's got options, but in the outdoor, I don't know. He can rack up a few more before the season's over with and certainly move up maybe into the top 3.
Mitch Payton, though, telling us that he does not have to ride the 125 East Supercross if he is successful in the points race in the 250s out west before they get to the east. Scott Sheik making the move on Ramsey here.
Yeah, I like that decision. There's a lot of people that want to see him ride the 250s. I certainly do, and that gives him the option. I mean, that's like a win-win-win situation there. You know, he can stay in the 250s and try to win that. If he has a bad one, he can decide to switch on over and win the 125. Again, either way, it really comes out smelling like a rose.
His good friend and confidant, Johnny O'Mara, is one of the few that's had the luxury of seeing Carmichael work out on a 250, and he is really excited about Ricky's chances.